at crime intelligence. Lieutenant General Mdluli was in the center of that. So there were two matters that were always in the media. Was about the death of a murder incident that happened in Vosloorus, as well as the corruption within crime intelligence secret fund account. I think that's where the name /fund came from. The secret fund account that I spoke about earlier that must be accounted for the Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence. It was misused. When I came in, there was already, General Mdluli was already suspended. And he was suspended by General Cele at the time. That suspension was regarding the murder incident that happened in Vosloorus. When I came in and I asked the management about the status of the criminal case that I'm told is registered against General Mdluli, which involves corruption of crime intelligence secret fund account, I was informed that there was no disciplinary steps initiated yet at the time. So I directed that we must initiate the disciplinary steps against the second charge, which is corruption. I brought General Mdluli to brief him about it, and I appointed an investigating team to investigate, and in the concluded investigation, we are about to subject General Mdluli to a disciplinary hearing. And then General Mdluli, to my surprise, then contacts me and he says to me, his criminal case that is going to appear in the Commercial Crime Court in Pretoria is going to be withdrawn the following day. So I was perplexed and I said, but Jared Dramat, as the head of the Hawks, do you know about this? And he said, no, he's not aware. And indeed, commissioners, when the matter appeared in court, the matter was withdrawn. So I demanded to know the reasons for that. They finished me with a submission that was made by the Deputy National Head of NPA at the time, Advocate Mkhwanazi, where he gave the instruction to Advocate Mzinyati, who was responsible for that case, and Advocate Mzinyati then directed a prosecutor who was working on the docket, Advocate Bredenbach, who's a member of parliament now, to withdraw the case. So the case was withdrawn, simply because of Advocate Mkhwanazi, regardless of evidence. But the reasons Mkhwanazi put on his letter was that the arrest of Mdluli, or this case being placed on the roll, it is not the responsibility of the SAPS, but it is the responsibility of the Inspector General of Intelligence. I explained earlier, commissioners, that crime will happen. If crime happens within the secret fund account, there must be audit, there must be accountability, and then the case must follow, which must be handled with care, but the case will follow. So similar to what is happening now, if there is any corruption within crime intelligence, that matter must be reported to the right structures and cases must follow thereafter. So at the time, the coordination of the information coming from crime intelligence to be given to an investigation team was facilitated by a senior officer within crime intelligence on an arrangement with DPCI. So the investigation was done correctly. But here's the case withdrawn, and citing the reason that the Inspector General of Intelligence is the one who's got a jurisdiction on this matter. So I took the case docket from court, and I stopped the disciplinary matter. I channeled both of them to the Inspector General of Intelligence. The Inspector General of Intelligence is a late Advocate Hadebe. She worked with an advocate that is currently, or is not within Inspector General now, but she's practicing. I gave both of them the letters, these cases, departmental and criminal. And I received a response from Advocate Hadebe, the Inspector General, on a disciplinary matter, where he says, charge the CFO, was Major General Lazarus at the time. Charge the CFO and not Mdluli, because it's the CFO that knows how to manage the secret fund account, and he used that to benefit Mdluli. Mdluli didn't know anything about it. So Mdluli is clear. So this is in black and white I receive. But I then said, I told Mdluli and the minister at the time that, yeah, the Inspector General is saying this, but I'm not going to implement this because I want a response on the criminal matter. Imagine me uplifting Mdluli's suspension, he comes to work, And the very same Inspector General says, I must take the case docket back to court and Mdluli must go and face a criminal case while he's back at work. It's going to look bad for me, not good governance. So I said, I'm going to wait until I get the second response. The second response came on the phone call. Inspector General said, please come, bring that letter I gave you because I want to withdraw it. So my question was, why do you want to withdraw? And she says, no, we have studied the case docket. And the reason advanced by the National Director of Public Prosecution is misplaced. We as Inspector General are not responsible for criminal investigation, but our investigation resulting to us producing reports to Parliament, Joint Standing Committee, not to take it to court. So this case, Mdluli must go and answer in court. So I gave her that letter. She withdrew it. And she wrote me a new letter to say, Mdluli must go and face his music in court. So I then said to Judge Drama, DPCI, send the case back to court. And I called Advocate Jiba, Nomgcobo Jiba was the acting national director at the time of prosecution. And I informed her, I said, your deputy withdrew this case in court. I want you to now attend to it because you are the head of the NPA. And she said she's in China at the time, I must send it back to Mkhwanazi. And then I told the disciplinary team that continue with the disciplinary case on Mdluli. But now, to my surprise, commissioners, that Advocate Mkhwanazi wrote a second letter. And he said, I'm the National Prosecution Authority, we're working independently. I've taken a decision on this matter, therefore it's final, closed. That's how that case of Jaram Mdluli died, by the signature of Advocate Mkhwanazi at the highest office of the NPA. So he killed that case like that. I'm glad now he's resurfacing against that corruption case. But it should have been dealt with then. But we had the players of Advocate Mkhwanazi in the highest office of the prosecution who decided, don't charge Mdluli. As I said, commissioners, when you do something that is bizarre, you make me to start asking questions. So I started asking questions as to why is this behavior? So as I was digging more, I started seeing a different picture, which maybe I might reflect to later. But the details of this thing I'm talking about is in the affidavit that I deposited at Zondo Commission. Feel free, is annexed, I think here, SC.
MK22, General.
Yeah, MK22. You'll be able to read it because it's got detail. It's quite a lengthy affidavit that I deposited about my experience at Crime Intelligence in 2011 to 2012 when I was acting, and how the secret fund account was misused by the players within Crime Intelligence that are still there today, that are fighting Khumalo today. They were there then, they are